but I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Command's Talk Today.
If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, welcome and thanks for joining us on another terrific Tuesday, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. And first with our good friends from the YMCA, and then at 1 o'clock for half an hour we're going to have a chance to see how well you can spell, because our children can. This National Spelling Bee. And then 1:30 to 2, well, there's going to be some open line by design because, well, we'll tell you why. Stay tuned for our Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back. And say to whom much is given, much is required. And I'm thankful that there are many who in their little and in their lot, they give tirelessly. Well, to our good friends from the YMCA, Miss Paula Robinson, welcome. How are you?
I am great. I survived the marathon, which is such good news for me because I'm not used to running that some long distances. So it was great because we fundraised for the Y, and we were successful in that end.
Well, congratulations, and I thank you and others who, not just put yourself where you make that level of commitment and you exhibit it and give us as an example. When I would chase the football, I didn't mind. I enjoyed that. But just to run because there's no dog chasing me, I hand it to you guys.
We were just so pleased to be able to raise, through that finish line, raising awareness about the non-for-profit, raising awareness about the caring campaign for funds that we're in need for the financial assistance program so we can give back to the community and help those parents in need.
Well, your title may be the Director of Philanthropy, but hopefully I said that correctly.
Yes.
But in all of us, we have a spirit of giving, and they say bless, better to give than to receive. But we receive so much in giving, whether we give publicly and get the press release for our organization, whether we give privately, and it's only the recipient that knows. The fact that you're giving of what you have, as Miss Marilyn talks about her time, the talent, and the treasure.
True.
Right?
Yes.
And in the way, at some point, as we talk about, in today's discussion, the amount of volunteers who give. As a friend of mine, I watch her involvement in her community, just individually, one-to-one sometimes. And the impact that one person has made on the life of at least one person, especially a young person. Wow.
Yeah,
that
so valuable.
Invaluable. It's just, you can't put a price on it.
It's totally right, actually. We are so fortunate that there's a good number of volunteers to support the Y on a yearly basis for especially the sports youth programs.
Right.
In our caring campaign, we have very committed board of directors who are also volunteers. It's not a paid job. They're volunteering their time, and they also support our efforts and provide guidance year round. So it's fortunate to have them and the support of many in the community.
Well, I like to extend thanks to them and others in that capacity who give because they can. They bring their skill sets, and collectively and collaboratively, we're doing something that is constructive for our community. And your financial assistance program, at some point, maybe we can ask not just the sums that have been divvied up, but the amount of students, if I may call them, you know, who have come through the Y, just even their summer programs, their traineeship programs. That is important, man.
It's so important, especially for the younger generations. I think we touched base a couple of weeks ago. One of my favorite programs is the Teen Lead On. It happens every summer and basically free of cost to the teenagers, but it's a leadership development training for them, which actually also involves them in the community by having to do some volunteer hours, not just with the Y, but also at other not-for-profit organizations. So there's so much growth in them because of that training, and it's something that we would need to continue to do because it's so important for our community.
Following on from our last discussion, you know, I kept thinking, a friend of mine says the problem, you think too much. I'd always want to say, you know what, you don't think enough, but it's good to be sparked by someone whose intellect, whose interest, whose ambition inspire you. And so you think, and I look at the Cayman context, this is not only to make it easier in terms of round numbers.
Right.
But just say we are 100,000 people, and whatever the percentage of that population that does something, you could drill it down into every hour. If somebody is doing something that is positive to the community.
Yes.
Wow.
Imagine if that would be every day. As a matter of fact, this year's theme for the International Volunteers Day is what if we would all ... So providing the opportunity of perhaps donating your time, donating your talent, or making a cash donation, for example.
And I commend those who have the financial resources. And they can write a check or do a donation in whatever format. These days, EFTs are just as good as, you know, that bank draft.
We love those.
You know, if it's a 10,000, if it's 10 billion, there's some people that could do that, and you know, it wouldn't even make a dent into their net worth, right? And whether they want to get an award or be rewarded for it or recognize, hey, if that money is put to good use, that does something for the community and especially its youth.
Yes.
Hey, I'm on board.
And absolutely, but also like the power of community. I mean, office colleagues getting together, doing a little activity between your family or your friends. Many of them can collectively help with these fundraising efforts and support an NPO.
I want to share something. She said I could share it, and as she said it, another of her friends, the lady said, huh. And then we laughed, and she said, no. So when she, I don't want to say turn, you know how George Carlin said, you turn 18, you're hitting 40. You know, when she became a certain age, she decided that she was going to ask her friends, listen, don't give me anything, right? All of us were relatively young then, but I would like you to agree to contribute whatever you wish, whatever is the same amount you buy as a gift or take me somewhere. If it's more, if it's less, it's okay. We're going to pool it and we're going to give it to something else, right?
Oh, lovely.
This was way back when. And we thought, wow, you know, we've seen a few people do that. Let's just say that more than a year has passed since that has happened. Some of us are not more mature now, not older. And she shared with us just recently that the reason she did that was something that was inspired by someone else. But she did it because she thought it would look good. There was good PR. Suffice it to say that many years and many moons have passed since. And that act somehow resonated within her, but it pricked her conscience because it wasn't pure. Now, this is her sharing with us that her ulterior motive at that time was to look good, to get some sort of cred. I think the young people would have said it some time back. But we said, but you've always been giving in volunteering. I mean, that's what we know. We thought this time you did this and wow, we looked up to you, right? Still all relatively young. And she said, yeah, but that thing then, even though her heart wasn't pure and her hands weren't clean, so to speak, that sparked her to all these decades since to become more motivated. Now, the other female friend said, you're trying to make amends for your bad conscience. And we laughed about it, but just doing that. And you know, she said, who knows, you do something, good can come of it, and it may, you know, they get a passion.
Absolutely.
Even if you're trying to appease your conscience, you're making the good, and then eventually you'll know what you're doing if its efforts are real.
Yes, I mean, how rewarding to someone's heart.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the local impact that if this was a cash donation would actually help provide better and bigger for a non-for-profit.
I remember that, don't remember the summit, probably in today's numbers, it probably wasn't much, right?
True.
But the thing that thing did, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just keeps resonating year by year. I think what happens is people understand the power of community.
Yeah.
Every single contribution someone can do, it's very powerful. And that's why, especially with our caring campaign, we look up at our community efforts. The goal this year is $200,000. So leaving the community to support us with $150,000, it's quite important for us, because then we see people getting united, people seeing their values being reflected on the servicing that we do, both in Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman with our programs. And most important, they can see generations to come of younger people growing into good individuals.
Yeah. We recognize the group effort, the community engagement and ownership. But as I listen, there's the power of one as well.
Yes.
There may be, as a friend reminded me just over the weekend, there is no, I in team.
True.
But there's me. All right, there's a me in team. That's how he puts it. All right, let's pause and take a break. When we come back, tell us more about, not just International Volunteers Day, but about the campaign. How do we partner? 100,000 people, if each one gives $2.
Imagine.
Imagine. Well, the phone lines are there if you want to call and share, ask a question. It's not about guilting anybody. It's about having a conscience.
Sure.
It's about a collective contribution.
Yes.
949-8037, 949-6990. There's some stuff I would share, but you see, don't talk at the school. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Honey, you and your team have had such a busy schedule. I've ordered Subway catering.
Oh, I love Subway. Did you order the flavor craver and the turkey wrap platters?
I also ordered Fresh Fit Platter for some of the team.
Hey! And Subway's fresh baked cookies?
Yes, even though you seem to get plenty of them.
No matter how big your crew is, keep them going with the great taste of Subway. From customized boxed lunches starting at just $6 to their famous platters. They'll love the taste and you'll love the price. Subway. Eat fresh.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
'Tis the season at Vigoro, and we've got all your festive favorites. From Christmas ornaments to decorations, succulents to ceramics. We've got gifts and more. Blooms, orchids, mobiles, garden accessories, furniture, even fairy gardens for the little ones. Make it a Vigoro Christmas with a gift that will be treasured forever. Both garden centers will be open on Christmas Eve till 5 p.m. Merry Christmas from Vigoro.
The Board of Trustees of the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan invites our members to attend the annual general meeting on Wednesday, December 6th at 6:30 p.m. The meeting will be held at the Chamber of Commerce Boardroom in Governor Square. Come out to meet our trustees, receive performance updates, and take part in our question and answer segment. Light refreshments will be served. Please visit our website, chamberpension.ky, or email admin@pensions.ky for further details.
Radio Cayman News.
A man and the United Kingdom are reaffirming their relationship.
The prosecution argues that the men planned and executed to rob the bank.
DOE conservation officers recently seized 86 conch.
Like she was so proud to spend $3 on that old taco chicken bag.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
This Christmas is all about you. Yeah, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value.
With daily prizes of iPhones, iPads, laptop, and gift vouchers this Christmas when you sign up for broadband. Pay your bill on time and in full, or activate a 30-day prepaid plan.
This Christmas is all about you. I'm telling you, boy. Flow brings the joy and better value.
Flow, connecting hearts and homes this Christmas. Visit discoverflow.co for more details. Conditions apply.
Flow brings the joy and better value.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thanks to Ms. Paula Robinson for joining us. And at the YMCA, we've seen his existence. We see and we know and we share his ethos. We recognize in my view, the access and the success is having amongst our youth in particular. Yes. For those of us who volunteered or had children there, the friendships that they're made, the interactions that they get, hopefully it'll make us as a community really, really stand and look in the mirror and reflect, what is there that is positive.
Yes, and it's such a valuable opportunity, especially for the children, because like you mentioned, making those new friends, disconnecting a little bit from the technology or the TV screen, and really being kids, learning, having fun, especially with many of the activities in our programs having STEM or any other opportunities for them to learn, because we can acknowledge perhaps not every child will excel in academics, but how about arts? How about sports? How about any other activities that really builds that character development and makes them successful in future? So we're just very proud of our staff doing these activities on a daily basis.
And as you mentioned, the children and the academics, sometimes that other activity or other activities will complement and enhance their academic progress. But that child who is really, really wonderful at a particular academic will also need the other things, not just the sports, but the other things to balance them, to complement them, to give them a greater appreciation and understand their worth and value.
Totally. We saw that a lot over the summer. We had 8 weeks of sun and fun, but we were able to make a lot of activities also with a little component of water or shade, because we could acknowledge how intense the summer warm they were. But I mean, when you think about the even extended hours that we offer during camp in summer, where parents had to, most of them, about 34% of our children actually were in extended hours because parents are still working. They can't just break from their day and go home and throw the child. And we're just so happy that we can deliver these activities either at the Field of Dreams or of property.
Yeah. And as parents, I think we appreciate that, even though we want to be there for the child sooner than we are, no matter how safe we know the child is, it could be with the grandparents. We want to be there. Our minds are not, completely at rest, right? But that, as you shared, it shouldn't be something that we just pass by lightly.
Mm-hmm.
The extended hours, whether it's in paid care or whether it's through programs like the Y, the fact that the impact on their families, the demands on the parent/employee,
yes,
however that translates into that work commitment, means that there's less time for that parent and that child to engage. So who's filling the void? And what is happening while that void is being filled by the person filling it?
True. And I mean, our after school is not really a daycare drop off your child. It's really curriculum based and growing the character development and all of these activities that really helps them nurture that capacity that is, again, as I mentioned, perhaps not only the academic side. Think about a parent who perhaps is a single mom and still needs to continue with career growth, or still needs to handle and manage time with work balance, and having the opportunity to host their child in after-school programs or even our camps, it's so valuable for them.
Something that I just a general observation, and it's from the perspective of unifying our community, recognizing, and I'll maybe ask you to look at it at some point if you have it, not for an answer now unless you wish. But many times a program, so a sports organization puts on a program, it tends to attract most of its sort of members and players or those who like that sport. A church has a youth group like program, usually the members of the congregation and their children, some extended by connection. And anybody who's new to it will come and initially may feel, well, I'm not really part of this, but in time they'll become comfortable and they'll adopt. What I've seen with the way, I haven't observed it recently, I have other endeavors on, as you know, but it was as much of a representation of the community as possible. I'll see the children and all heights and all sorts of, and you look at it and there's a very, very healthy, sort of representation of what the country is. If they come together and they play and they interact and they engage, wow.
We see that very beautifully, especially on the baseball program, where we have players, students from both the private and the public schools emerge so nicely because they're really learning the sportsmanship, they're having fun, but they're really interacting with perhaps other young individuals that they may not see because they're not in the same school. After school program for us is all the government schools, but some of these children actually attend our camps, and camps are also open to the general public. So we could also have private school students going into camp at the same time government school students.
And maybe something that some of us are very conscious of, but something I think we need to be conscious of if we're not. This is a small community. Again, just round numbers, 100,000 people, 100 square miles, the math will tell you how many people in a space.
Yes.
But despite that statistic, it is possible that you can go weeks on end and not see a person that you would want to see, right? Your sibling, good classmate, unless you consciously make an effort to see that person.
True.
That is a very, very sobering thought.
Yes.
And in that, look at our children. What if they're not interacting and engaging when they're out somewhere sometime at some point? Do they know each other?
Right.
Are they able to relate to each other? So what are we doing to make sure that they are?
Yes, and that actually brings a good point. We launched in September the Youth Football Academy. I think Serge came in a couple of weeks ago or almost a month ago to share a little highlight. And it's so incredible how the youngest kids are actually so into the sport. And it's not really competitive. We're not in that arena at this stage. But we really want to provide that platform for the youngest generations, boys and girls, because this one is co-ed, and have that for them. It's actually at the Field of Dreams also. And it's in the time of the year when baseball is not on term. So we can, I guess, recycle. I'm going to use the word of the fields, which are amazingly looking amazing after the renovation, but also serving a purpose year round, because it also hosts the headquarters for camp.
Right. Well, we'll take our final break of our segment, Ms. Paula. When we come back, if you would share with us, we understand, and if he doesn't mind, James Jambo Myers from the Youth Services Unit would always talk about, impact of youth workers. And for many of us, we wear that label without even realizing it. Some of us are very conscious that on a particular day of the week, at a particular space, at a particular time, we're doing a particular activity.
Yes.
But what does that impact and how? So to all those who volunteer and they just give endlessly and tirelessly, we commend them. It is necessary in every society, but I think in ours, more than ever.
Yes.
So could we talk about that? But also, nothing is free. I don't say that because when you hear, there's no free lunch. Nothing is free. You didn't pay for it, but it didn't get there because it didn't cost.
True.
So how could we help?
Yeah,
right?
So last week, Tuesday, was the International Observance for Giving Tuesday. It happened to be that it's not just a one time of the year thing. It should be every Tuesday. Yeah. So today is another opportunity for the Cayman community to support the Caring campaign. Every dollar donation takes us closer to our fundraising goal of $200,000. So imagine if by Christmas, with the spirit of the season, everybody either in their offices, at school, with their friends, or even classmates and other activities they do, they get together and they contribute. Or corporations could still manage to have a donation, a corporate contribution towards the fundraising goal. It would be so powerful. It would be so helpful.
We can make a difference if we do it together.
Yes.
All right. Join us after the break. You can't see her, but that's a smile on Susan's face is normal. Look at that. Can you see it?
Yes, I did.
I'm telling you, man. All right. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the all-new Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old girl.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
A house isn't a home without the perfect furnishings and decor. At Robert Wood Furniture and Design, we have everything your home deserves. Shop now for incredible store-wide savings, up to 50% off on sofas, beds, dining tables, and chairs. Or ask about our custom furnishing options and interior design services. Find the perfect gift ideas with accent pillows and vases, starting at just $10. Lamps as low as $20. Whether it's kitchen and bathroom remodeling to flooring and window treatments, lighting, fans, furniture, and home decor, Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors has all you need this Christmas. Visit our website, robertwoodky.com. Like, follow, and share our page on Facebook and Instagram, Robert Wood Furniture and Interiors, or swing by our store at Cayman Center, Owen Roberts Drive. Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and a prosperous and healthy New Year.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And as we referenced after the 1 p.m. headline news, we get a chance to talk about the spelling bee, and we can speak to the champions, the winners, the successful students who, raised the stage.
Yes, yeah. I still want to stay for a little bit longer and be around them.
Why don't you invite, just by their academic prowess, we too may be imbued with that level of spellability.
Yes, spellability. I'm going to talk about another ability people can have today, because we thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Of course.
We're very, very close to the end of the year, but we're not yet close to our fundraising goal for the Caring campaign at the YMCA. Mm-hmm. So this is another Giving Tuesday opportunity, another week for you as a community member to get together with your family, with your colleagues, with your classmates, with any of your friends, and create awareness about the YMCA as a non-for-profit organization helping the community with this financial assistance program, which is our way to give back to the community, especially to those parents who are struggling with economic hardship. But most important, the Y is for all, and the Caring campaign, the funds that we raise through that campaign every year, it also helps subsidize programs so that it turns to be affordable for many. Yeah. And that's huge for our community.
As you should, I was thinking back to a comment someone had made a number of times in my life that if a program is accessible to all, mm-hmm. and it isn't the price of admission determine whether you get to participate, we probably had that at once, we probably don't anymore, but if we could, it doesn't mean that little Johnny is attending because Johnny's dad is able to afford it, or right. Susie's excluded because she doesn't have the money. If they're all apart, then there's that sense of equity and fairness, but more importantly, they seem equal in their participation. Mm-hmm. But there is a gap in our society where, easily, I guess more easily afforded by some, and so they get in. Yes. Others struggle, so they are assisted by the rest. And then somewhere, in the middle there are those who say, well, only if we could. We'll see if we have extra. Yes. And they don't.
And that's the thing. We would love to share always. The program is actually with a strict privacy, mm-hmm. so we can appreciate there's pride and there's people who don't easily come forward and say, I need help, I need support so I can get my children registered on your programs. But please do communicate with the YMCA, info@ymcacayman.ky, or visit our website, ymcacayman.ky, because we don't want to turn children away from programs because the parents are facing financial challenges.
If I might ask, and guide me, because I look at things and we try to be respectful sometimes.
Right.
There are some of us who we can afford something, mm-hmm. right? No problems, and we're happy to pay it. Some can afford it, but they think, if I can get access to this without having to spend so much, they will. Each has our own disposition.
Yes.
Then there are those who they can only afford a couple of dollars, a certain percentage of it. Mm-hmm. They need assistance with the rest. we can make it work for those who, you need $10. I got $5. I only need an extra $5.
True. I mean,
Right.
it takes community, right?
Mhm.
But also communication. So we ask for the community to approach us, to not, be facing any other challenges besides talking to us, because we want to
Mhm.
make sure that the children are getting the opportunities they deserve. And that's why the Y services our community.
Yeah, and not to feel as if they are less than because.
Oh, absolutely.
But
No.
to be a partner,
Yes.
you take two individuals, they're trying to achieve something.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be that they equally contribute in an effort to get this object from A to B, but if the two then work together,
Yes.
one may be 60%, one may be 40%. It may be 90-10.
Mhm.
It may be 99-1. Who knows, right?
But that's actually the beautiful thing, or at least two of the most beautiful things about this caring campaign or the financial assistance program is it remains strictly confidential. We don't publicize who are the children or the teens who are in this program. And most important, raising funds for this campaign goes strictly to help parents. We don't use this money for overhead or marketing efforts. It really goes straight to giving back to the community.
So every dollar raised in this campaign is put towards,
Yes, the financial assistance program of the YMCA.
which is commendable, because sometimes we know funds have to be allocated for other things. Nothing is free. If the Y doesn't pay the electric bill,
Right,
his water
yes.
bill or whatever, it's...
We host other fundraising activities throughout the year, but the caring campaign every year is just strictly for financial assistance program. Just this year alone, for campers for 2023, we have given $200,000 in financial assistance already, and we still have a week of camp next 18th of December. So we know that we still support the community one more time before the New Year's Eve hits.
200,000. And when you think of that, the number of children that have benefited as a result
Yes,
of
yes.
that. It may seem like a huge sum, and it is if you're paying your loan. It is a huge
It
sum.
is huge. I mean, but
Yeah.
imagine summer was 8 weeks,
Yeah.
and we were fortunate enough to have the opportunity, thanks to donations, to get a bus and bring children from East End, North Side, even West Bay, whose parents couldn't afford to first register them for programs and also to drop them and pick them up. So we had that opportunity to help the community even further. And we even provided a lunch snack for a certain number of children in the financial assistance program.
And who knows, that child's participation in something constructive, what that would do for the child. Certainly,
yes.
the impact on the community.
Yes. No, and ultimately it's mostly for what it brings the child and what it builds in this individual to grow as a better human being.
And I'm hopeful as I listen to you that many of us, even when, and I commend my parents for this, we who grew up in certain parts of the world, we didn't know we were poor until we maybe saw it relative to other parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But we were obviously not poor in spirit,
Yes.
not poor in community and family,
Mm-hmm.
but we were instilled with a sense of value and appreciation.
Yes.
So to the parents who, can't afford everything, we afford what we can. We
Yes.
partner with others,
Mm-hmm.
and we ensure that as best as we can, our children are the beneficiaries of our good deeds.
Yes, and we want to make sure that the parents also feel supported, that they don't feel the burden. And if we can release some of that burden by providing financial assistance, this is part of our commitment to the YMCA.
So, Ms. Paula, in closing, there are many who give and who would continually give. Sometimes you just need to know how.
Yes.
How do we give?
Very easy. Type on your computer or your cell phone ymcakman.ky. That's the YMCA website that has a donation link. We are 3 weeks down to the end of the year, and another $70,000 could be really, really good for the YMCA to get to before we hit the 31st of December. So please, with anything that you can, donate your time, your talent, or your treasures. They're all welcomed.
Thank you, Ms. Marlene. I think she introduced that to us. And there are companies that may have particular events. They may have entities within those companies that they manage that have funds.
Yes.
This would be one of the, another good way to partner with our community.
Absolutely. Dedicate your Christmas party to us, your office gathering, any way that you can support. No amount is little. It all goes towards the greatest cause, which is the youngest generation, our children, the country's future.
Well, thank you, and to all the team, and especially all the volunteers. And there are many who could use their academic, credentials, perhaps working in other spheres, making a lot more money.
Yes.
But they choose to be of service to our community. Wow. Thank you.
And we're grateful. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to pause and we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we get a chance to talk to our students. I'll see how well we can spell. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
From district to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brack and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman. One radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
The DVDL says the machine used to make new license plates is down, and while they wait for a replacement part, temporary plates will be issued, which will be valid for 6 months from the date of issue. DVDL says it is committed to resolving the matter as quickly as possible and will notify the public as soon as the machine is operable again. In international headlines, rescuers searching the hazardous slopes of Indonesia's Mount Marapi volcano found 11 more bodies of climbers who were caught by a surprise weekend eruption, raising the number of confirmed dead now to 22. That according to officials today. One person remains missing. More than 50 climbers were rescued after the initial eruption on Sunday, and 11 others initially confirmed dead. New eruptions over the past 2 days spewed more hot ash as high as 2,620 feet into the air, reducing visibility and temporarily halting search and recovery operations. The U.S. Supreme Court today dismissed a case involving a Maine hotel that could have made it harder for people with disabilities to learn in advance whether a hotel's accommodations meet their needs. Hotels and other business interests had urged the justices to limit the ability of so-called testers to file lawsuits against hotels that fail to disclose accessibility information on their websites and through other reservation services. The information is required by a 2010 Justice Department rule. People who suffer discrimination can sue under the landmark Americans with Disabilities Act, which was signed into law in 1990. The judges did not issue a decision on the substance of the case. Instead, they dismissed it and threw out a lower court ruling in favor of tester lawsuits. Those are your headlines. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
The headline news is brought to you by Health Services Authority.
It's one of the best moments of your life when you welcome your baby into the world. The HSA's experienced women's health and maternity team provides the highest quality of care throughout your pregnancy and delivery. As a JCI accredited hospital, we are the leader in maternal care, safely delivering over 700 babies annually. Visit hsa.ky for more information. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Merle Adina Connolly, 1919-2000. Miss Merle Connolly was the daughter of Eleanora and Benoni Connolly. She was married to Samuel Chesley Connolly and had a family of 4 children. She spent much of her life in church of the Women's Fellowship, Sunday school teacher, elder, and president of the Christian Endeavor Society. Miss Merle enjoyed providing encouragement and advice to young people in East End. Christian Endeavor afforded her the opportunity to introduce young people to the arts. Among other activities, she directed plays and taught craft and sewing. She was certified in craft, especially plating silver thatch to make baskets and other articles. Her work was highly sought after by tourists and residents alike. She also enjoyed cooking and preparing traditional East End foods, such as stewed conch and heavy cakes, to assist with fundraising for the church and community projects. She touched the lives of all those with whom she came in contact with.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thanks very, very much. And it's not just because it's Christmas time, but any time that we get a chance to celebrate with our students and showcase them and uplift, nurture, inspire, well, we're encouraged by their success. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but being able to spell is a good thing. I'm grateful that we have these opportunities to do just that. Well, Ms. Kimberly Colonel, together with her wonderful colleague, Ms. Jenny Rivers, joins us. Ms. Kim, the Department of Education Services, together with, I guess, the Lions in this particular, have always facilitated a spelling bee. I tried to joke and say I didn't know bees could spell, but someone said, don't say that joke again. So I won't after today. Good afternoon. Good to see you.
Good afternoon. Good to be here.
I know I was reflecting on the last time that we were here and the idea that our students, not just in their preparation so that they get up, but the courage that they have to spell words in public. I commend them. I mean, I'm glad to learn more and talk to some of our students, but talk to us about it.
Yeah, well, we had two very successful events last week. We had the RBC Royal Bank Primary National Spelling Bee on the Tuesday and the Lions Club of Grand Cayman Spelling Bee on the Wednesday. 24 years RBC has been supporting us, and 41 years now Lions has been supporting us. It's been a very fruitful partnership, and it was some tough competition. The primary competition went full 4 rounds and went to a tiebreaker round. The secondary spelling bee, the words were much more difficult. They ended up at round 2 after we had some serious knockouts. Mm-hmm. But all the students were, just very impressive, very confident. Great sportsmanship, and it was wonderful to see. It was wonderful events.
If I might ask Miss Jenny, I'm sure it was the same in many primary schools, but West Bay Primary, you're up in front of the class, and there were a bit of a spelling competition within the class.
Yeah, we had it when I was growing up. We used to have it in the class, and then we had it in the school. Yeah. And I think many of the schools in this day and age do the same thing, that they have some competition within the school and pick the best spellers.
Yeah. And it's not sometimes only that you yourself, you're confident in spelling. You can spell it when you're writing your essay or whatever. But then the participation in front of the class is Christian. We're parents here. Some of us, a little bit more mature parents. But in your tender years, what was it like, as you nod and agree?
Well, growing up, I actually participated in spelling bee when I was in primary school. And yes, I won, but it was really, really difficult. I mean, just to stand in front of people and spell, you get so nervous. Yeah. So
it doesn't matter if you know the word or not. You just feel that nervous.
Right.
But thank you for being a mother and encouraging and bringing along Miss Haley. But before we invite Miss Haley to our discussion, what is it like for you? You haven't been through it. You've been encouraging, you work, and she has to do all the other things that she has to do. I mean, she's a child. Right. Just do what parents say. What is that like, that partnership and preparing her, encouraging her, and to get her to participate?
Well, she is a hard worker, so it wasn't very hard to say, okay, Haley, come, let's go. You entered last year. You came in the top 10. You weren't so pleased, but let's go at it again this year. And it wasn't very hard to get her motivated to participate. At times, she would have loved to do some other things, but she knew what she wanted, so it was not very hard.
If it's okay from a parent to a parent, it's okay sometimes to want to do other things. I mean, my brother say, look at that, good fishing day, but I got to go to work. Right. Welcome, Miss Haley. Congratulations. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right. To your mom's point, it wasn't difficult to get you to, be motivated, but could you tell us maybe what motivated you to want to be, in the competition?
What motivated me to join the competition?
Yes, Mom.
Well, the general thought of winning was a lot to say that I wanted to go and do it again. And because of joining last year, it kind of made me more excited to go again to see if I could win.
Okay. So 2 things I'm hearing you say. One is that initial sort of foray, that participation gives you a comfort, gives you, hey, this isn't as bad as it takes away those initial sort of fears. So once you do it in a second, in a third, and a fourth, so the more we get involved, the more comfortable, the more confident we become. A great lesson for parents and teachers to remember. Give the child an opportunity, give them another opportunity, give them another opportunity. If I might, if it's okay, through your mom to ask you, you're very competitive, as you just said. That's the second thing. Hey, what motivated me? I wanted to win. Not in those words, but it's good to want to win, right?
Right.
I mean, second place isn't first. But I see that. So what else? What else made you, because as your mom said, you have other things to do, not just schoolwork, but, all the other things.
What else motivated me? Well, it also has a lot of benefits. Like, it can help with your vocabulary, it extends it. It would help me write better with the spelling of words. I would know more in general. So.
Okay. If it's okay, and I'll ask the mom first, because I consciously did something after an educator friend of mine said, check this out, right? I love technology, make no bones about it. But if technology affects how we interact as individuals, toss it out. That's my sort of bottom line premise. She said, I want you to take your dumb device, because it's not a smartphone, take off everything on it that isn't allowing you to be able to think for yourself. And if you're writing, be able to physically write and spell that thing. Right? Don't use the assistive this and the predictive that. Take all of that off and see how you function. I've tried it. Have you tried it?
No.
Try it. And before you do, this was the caveat. She says that if you try to do that now, I don't know if it's on all devices and all platforms, I don't know. Just the ones that we have that are like, if you type in a word, GLAD, I am glad to see you, and you hit space because it's spelled correctly. It's not a big word. I mean, I could have did that in spelling bee. And you hit space, and another word pops up. And I go, but I didn't type a word that I didn't want to type. I didn't type it incorrectly. Wow. Only to realize that this dumb device has decided that you don't know what you want to say, so this is the word that you should put in. Take it off. And I did that for a couple weeks now. It's a challenge. You become so accustomed to this dumb device dictating to you which direction you go.
Yeah, that's true.
So, with that premise, can I ask you, Haley, to what extent do you think, don't want to get anybody in trouble, that there are young people using, if it's okay for me to say it, these dumb devices? Is it dumbing us down, making us dependent? Is it helping us in our education? And is it taking away our abilities to spell?
I think it goes both ways. Like, it also kind of makes you a little dumber because you're relying on your device in every situation. But if you use it in the right way or context, then it also can benefit you.
See that? Mouth or youth, there's the wisdom, Miss Christian. Right. Done a great job as a parent. And thank you for being so candid with that. And the reason I wanted to ask that, and thank you for allowing me, is that we leverage these things, but we don't appreciate how it can. And as you said, use it a way it can help. So I wanted to say that to ask, how did you prepare for it? Because I want to improve my spelling too.
The preparation?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, since the last time I entered around last year, I've been preparing it a little bit, but the month before it got more intense, where about an hour or two a day spelling.
Wow. As a mom, I mean, she's has other things to do, and to take an hour or two a day. I have 40 hours in a day, I think. How much do you have?
Yes, it was a bit. I mean, in the morning sometimes I would say, okay, while I'm combing her hair, I said, okay, Haley, spell this word. And on our way to school, I would say, and then when we get to school, I would say, put in like 25 minutes. And then after school, she would put in some extra time with her other coach. So
I'm gathering then that if we as parents are present, physically, mentally, we're present, we're actively involved, and we're using the time that we have. Some of the people say, oh, the quality time is not the quantity. We have neither. Use that time effectively. Wow.
It made a lot of difference.
Well, obviously, and congrats again. If I then might ask, this came from, the DES's perspective. We also have another winner from the BRAC, hopefully, the journalist, but this should do well for us as a community to see our parents engage. It isn't, as much as we say, many of us, parent and child, we're competitive.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I mean, even some of us.
Yeah, no, and it was great, and many parents were able to come out to both B's. Those who weren't tuned in, and we had really good support, and some of the schools, particularly the primary one where there's more space, brought some of the students to come and support, and it's a great partnership between school, parent, and student, and that was really reiterated in a lot of the thanks and the notes by our sponsors and so on, the partnership.
Well, as Ms. Haley's here as I call it the high school, maybe it's the secondary school, so I don't know how you say it.
Formal term is secondary, but everyone knows it as high school.
Yeah, I missed the first couple of years of school. But we also have the Creek and Spot Bear Primary, the primary school winner as well, not able to be in the studio. I sent over my catboat, but they didn't get here. Mr. Rothstein.
Yes, Suwana, she did a fantastic job. Hopefully she'll be able to call in, but she did, say I think she came third last year or something like that. And again, that same determination that she wanted to come back, she wanted to win, she put in the time. Fourth. And, she again wanted to try and she did not miss a beat. Again, the confidence of her and Haley were so impressive and so wonderful to see.
Well, if it's, we recognize school is still in, so if for whatever reason I can't connect up, we will find space if you ever wish to. By your phone, have a chat, because we want to highlight and showcase, and we want to remind our people that it doesn't matter if you're in a Brackett Little Cayman, if you're in the Cayman Islands, one of our students in any of our schools, we want to congratulate you and celebrate you.
Yes. And it was good that they could come over and compete.
Exactly.
And that's what we at DES try to do whenever we have any major competitions, whether it's spelling bee, they come over. Some schools come over for the Conyers debate, KPMG Brain Bowl, and we bring them over for inter-primary and inter-secondary. And they're part of us. They're not forgotten, because people talk about Little Cayman and Cayman Brac as the islands that are forgotten, but when it comes to DES, they're not
forgotten.
Thank you for emphasizing that, because I think sometimes we don't appreciate how important that is, not just for that child to understand, you included, but to be able to be physically in the space. Right, Ms. Krishna? That means a lot. Even in a working environment, you can hop on a conference call, but it's not the same when you're facing your colleague. There's something important about that.
For sure.
Right. Well, with that, Miss Haley, if I may ask you, in your preparation, you've got your other classmates. Your mom is, taking you back and forth. And can you do my hair too? Because maybe that's what I heard you say. You learn to spell when you're doing your hair. See, that's what happened to me. I thought, now I know the trick. Sorry. What about your classmates as you work, and do they help to not just encourage you, but, if I may use the bad word, test?
So, in terms of my classmates assisting me, there's a spelling bee club where there are other students who attend the spelling bee that work together to study and prepare each other. And I would say they did a really good job in motivating me, because they'd help me notice some tricks in spelling words, some hints I could use, and overall they're really positive.
Can you share them with me?
Names?
No. The tricks. Tell me names so I can call them. But no.
Some tricks for some Greek words. Most of them that sound like they have an I sound. If they have an origin of being Greek, then it's more than likely going to be Y. So like synagogue, syzygy, sycophancy.
Sycophant. Okay. So, but then you gotta know if the word sounds like Greek, because a lot of words sound like Greek to me. But
no,
so
if it sounds like there's an I in it.
Yeah.
And you ask for the origin and it's Greek, then it's more than likely going to be Y.
Oh, so the trick is in asking what is the origin of the word.
I learned that as well.
See that? Right. So you can't learn things post 50. I would make a joke, but we're not all adults in the room. Miss Christian that's true. And so asking the origin, and I guess, I love words, and it's not just with semantics, and I think linguistics and language is so important, so that we look at things. So the origin, understanding the syntax as well of the word. Okay, sorry. And how does that play out in maybe to our DES, in our teachers instructing our children? Because there was a time in the class while my dinosaur was tied outside, we were in the classroom trying to learn. We just took what was there. That approach to education, Mr. Colonel?
Well, let me be careful how I touch on this, but I would just say, like, these give the opportunities for learning to be outside the classroom as well.
Yes,
and I think that's a really important message to send to our young people, that learning occurs everywhere. Learning occurs through many different things, through different opportunities. And so, the spelling bee is just one of those outlets where students can learn in a different way. They can create a spelling bee club. There can be inter-school competitions that lead up. And so, so it just, it adds that variety to the education platform.
And if I might, what I'm recognizing is that learning is dynamic, it's continual, and it doesn't matter if while we're combing our hair, driving a car, whether it's the spelling club, it's continual.
Mm-hmm.
But Miss Jenny, when we were in school,
these days there's a lot more opportunity. I've been in DES now 14 years, and I've seen the growth in the education system and what is offered to students, and a lot of that was not offered when I was growing up. Our spelling bee club was a couple of kids underneath the wheat mallow tree or whatever out the schoolyard.
Yep.
Or so it's. The opportunities are there for the kids. It's for them to take it up and run with it.
If I might, parent-to-parent task, because I think too many times we hear things generally in the media, in particular the international media. There's somebody who is some pundit now popularly, presenting something that sounds like it's the solution to parenting. You know where I'm going, Miss Christian? Help me.
Not quite.
but with that, it comes down to the basics: being present.
Being present.
Being
yes.
present.
And that time together. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely makes a difference.
Making the child understand. You know what? You spelled a word, and mommy didn't know that word either. All right.
Yes.
And now we learn it together.
I learned so much words I didn't even know the meaning. And growing up, we heard some words, and now I'm realizing, that's where that word is coming from. So, yes, it was very helpful.
But I guess, too, it should encourage you as a parent that here's a child who's precocious, who wants to learn, and is now, for want of better, researching and exploring that curiosity.
Right.
It's inspiring to make you want to do likewise.
Definitely. And even after the competition, I said, I missed this because I was enjoying it so much just studying with her. I said, I may need to coach students next year because it was so good.
Please.
I actually missed the training.
Yeah. Go and coach other students. And we're all parents, because at some point, God's prayers life, we're going to age. Wouldn't it be great to have wonderful children now who are professional, who are looking at us in a very, very respectful way because we were kind to them?
Right.
If I might ask Miss Haley then, that dynamic with you and your mom, you work and you got other things, does that help you now to want to do even greater things and other endeavors, not just spelling, but win the Nobel Prize perhaps?
Definitely the relationship and how she helps me definitely is a big motivator in more things I would love to do in the future.
All right, well, you share as you wish. We won't ask and we won't pry, but we will encourage, and anything we can do that's positive certainly is important. And a child in this country, for us, if we don't do our best, help them to be accountable and responsible and accepting that the mantle has to be passed. They've got to be prepared to take it up, right? If I can and ask, you participated, and like Mr. Augustine, that first round last year motivated you and say, hey, but there's some of us who enter something and we don't get where we think we wanted to go. And instead of being like you and, Ms. Augustine, pushing and pressing and persevering and trying it again, we don't. What can you say to our parents and to your fellow students? Hey, you didn't make it this time, or you didn't get where you want, try again. Because some of us don't, for whatever reason.
Well, considering that if you entered last year, think about how much that you could have progressed throughout that year, or even try to make the effort to understand more.
Okay. And what about if you entered, right? And like you said, you didn't get there, you motivated. But what about some of us are a bit nervous. We have all sorts of excuses, why we won't do something. Maybe it's confidence, maybe it's somebody saying something that intended to discourage us or inadvertently does so. So that person, that young person who is a bit shy, reserved, afraid, unwilling, not motivated, not encouraged, whatever, isn't going to go through the door, isn't going to enter the spelling bee, isn't going to be in the KPMG Brain Bowl. How do we get that person to say, you know what, nothing venture, nothing gain. If you don't try it, you never know.
I feel like the right motivation is definitely something that plays a part in how somebody would consider something. So considering that they're not getting the right motivation, I feel like they need to be with people who strengthen that.
Maybe to our parents then, and our educators. How do we find that right motivation? I have a thought process, and you could be 15 or 50. You still need to find a purpose, right? But how do we get that thing to motivate that child to excellence, to satisfaction, to fulfillment?
I think it's really varied on the person. When you think about it, each of us are motivated by different means, right? Some of us are the competitors at heart and, truly like, I want to win this. Some need a lot of positive reinforcement. Some just need to be given one simple little chance for them to realize, oh, I can do this. And then it, grows and grows and grows into that opportunity. And I think, through our teachers and the staff and parents, who know the children and learn the children. And it's looking at each individual child to say, how can we motivate them? What are they going to respond to, so that, they can take more opportunities, so that they can have more fulfillment in, not only their education journey, but their life journey.
Ms. Jenny, if you wish to add anything.
I agree with everything that Kim said. And a personal thing, my granddaughter is not an academic person. She is more an arts. So we every time we buy art supplies, find art on computer, we plan on, I found that the iPad now has a pen that she could draw with. So that was one to motivate, want to buy her for Christmas. So we tried to say, well, you know what, since she's interested in the arts, we know she's not going to be an A student, but at least she will, succeed in the arts. And she loves to sing, so she's joined the choir. So it's just finding what they are interested in and fostering it.
Oh, well, that's good. You don't necessarily, what I'm hearing you say, you don't have to have the ability, you have to have the interest initially. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And as a parent, Ms. Christian, what would you say? I mean, because your daughter was very eloquent, but that...
I think just find exactly what motivates the child, what will cause them to want to go better, move further.
Yes, ma'am.
And just tap into that.
Okay.
If it's an incentive or whatever it is.
All right. As we close out the discussion, can we start back and finish with Mr. Colonel? But I would like, if it's possible, through you, Mom, to ask your daughter, you've won. You've participated first time. You had amazing success, and this time around as well. How does that feel? I mean, the last time to this time, now the feeling. What is that like?
It's a mix of excitement and gratefulness. If that's exactly a word.
Hey, I used the word earlier. What was the word I used? I know it was no word, but why not? We can make them up.
Because throughout the journey, it's definitely been challenging at times to get up and say, I want or have to study. But the point from there to now definitely makes a difference on how I feel, because if I had said no, I probably would not have done this much.
Well, we've heard it said often, and sometimes it becomes a cliche, but that's true. Then I believe when it was first said, the longest journey begins with a single step.
With a single step.
And whatever that is, sometimes walking from here upstairs is a long journey. So to you, Ms. Christian, not just to students, young people, but to parents in particular, speak to their hearts. Tell us, what we need to be doing, and maybe chastise us in what we're not doing. Feel free. It's Christmas.
We just need to be there for our children, see the best for them, and work with them to achieve all that they're capable of. Sometimes we say things based on the situation, but I believe that it's your child. We need to be with them, motivate them, and just empower them to be the best version of themselves.
And hopefully that would empower, like so many others. Is it so used that it becomes a cliche, that we actually embrace it and go back to the preparation for the spelling bee? What's the origin of that word? And they're like, all right, everybody look through the window Do you see that smile on Susan's face? Look at that. Now, you know what that is, right? No, it isn't the container that we got ordered. She has been able to make a connection with Miss Juana Augustine on the BRAC. So if you would be so kind, our wonderful Miss Uni has freshly sanitized our headsets. If we don them, we can probably join her and hear what she has to say. Everybody in favor say aye? Aye, okay. Let's go to the phone. Hey, welcome, good afternoon.
What's up, sir?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay. Now, this is Mr. Augustine, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, congratulations to you. And as Miss Kim and Miss Jenny shared with us now, you're the first place primary spelling bee champion from Creek and Spot Bay Primary.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us and share with us. We would like, if you have a few minutes, to ask you a few things. But at first, if you want to say anything, go right ahead.
Okay, sir. I would just like to thank God and my parents and my teachers for helping me win this spelling bee first place.
Indeed. And as I think, we've told her, having parents and teachers who are involved really makes a difference, right? We were told by Miss Jenny and Miss Kim that you also participated last year and then again this year. Can we ask you that first time you participated last year, what made you do it? And then this time around, what made you want to do it again?
Okay, sir. So how I did it is that I study really hard. Sometimes I study with my sister, and other times I study by myself. And my parents often test me on it or study with me.
That's so evident here. Parents being present. If it's okay to ask, and hopefully I ask it properly. Obviously, children, people in general who want to do something, they'll do it. Were there times that you didn't want to do it? I mean, I'll give you an example. There are many days when, I wish I didn't have to go to school. I would go fishing because it was such a good day. If you had those days where you didn't want to study and put in the time needed to prepare, what did you do to make sure that, you did what you had to do to prepare?
Well, what I made sure I would do is that I would have to say the word, then spell the word, and then say it again. And sometimes I have to ask for the meaning or the origin or to use it in a sentence. And often, most of the times, sometimes I really don't feel like doing it, but I have to do it because so I pray to my God for help, and He helped me when spelling these.
You know what? Good advice, because I think many of us don't realize that we need that extra little motivation, and for me, that prayer gives it to us. But I'm glad that you also sort of confirmation, asking for the origin of the word. I won't ask the parents and the adults in the room, but I'm pretty sure many of us have had days when we don't want to go to work either. We got to dig deep for different reasons. So you having that wisdom and courage and tenacity at that age bodes well, right, Ms. Kim?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. If I then ask, as you share with you how you prepared, now that you have, I don't want to say won, because it's more than winning, all who had the courage to participate, but you came out, in first place. How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel really happy because I really want to become first place. But even though I make another score, even though I make second or first place, or if I lose, that's still okay because I'm proud of myself.
You know what? Awesome. Have that confidence, and as you should be. And I think this is maybe as us, as parents who are listening, it doesn't matter if they're a child or if it's their grandchild or nothing. Let's make sure our children are encouraged and they know that they're loved and they have great worth. Can I ask you, this was primary school. Are you thinking of wanting to do it again?
Yes.
That's a quick answer.
You know what?
She'll be a continual at our at our events.
That answer was very evident even before I asked it. But and the supplementary, Madam Speaker, if I may ask, what are you so excited and anxious and eager and want to do it again?
Well, I sometimes feel anxious, or I sometimes feel frustrated that I can't do this or I might lose. But like I said, I often ask my God because I often go to church on Saturdays, and I often do family worships and often go to some worship. I often do some worship and do church on Sundays and Saturdays and even every day.
Yeah, man. In all things, give thanks. And as I listen to your heart, wow, has to be encouraging as parents, huh? And no, and now we thank you for joining us. And as we close our discussion, could we ask you for anything that you may want to say, not only to your classmates here in Grand Cayman or in the Bracket Little Cayman, but to anybody who's listening, in particular, if you are so inclined, to us as parents and adults, what we can do to make it as best as we can to provide that space for you guys to be the best that you can.
Yes. It can be okay to ask me any questions before we close the discussion.
Okay.
But
yeah. Now, for your other classmates who will be remaining in primary school as you go on to other schools, what would you say to them that would get them?
I also like to say something about my sister, and I know I became first place, so I thanks for the congratulations. And as for my sister, I hope she can do better if she studies more. Well, I don't want to make her disappointed, but I really want her to do better, like I did.
Right. But she has you now as an example, as the other classmates.
And I can continue to study my words for the next spelling bee that is going to come ahead or not.
Well, without question, I think you will continue to study
and my class also expects me to work hard so I can win spelling bee.
And that is so crucial, the expectation we have. We expect people not to do good, they probably won't. They live up to the expectations.
Well,
yes, ma'am. Sorry, Mr. Weston, we're listening to you, ma'am. Yeah.
Well, if my friends came here or if anyone else was chosen, especially me, we would have won spelling bee because I was going to be rooting for them. I'm going to be always rooting for them. I would be counting on them in many ways, and also if Ayana or Alexander were here, I wish they would have won the spelling bee because I knew I depend on them as my friends.
And that is so important that as your friends and classmates, you encourage them not only by you excelling, but also by your words to encourage. And I think that is something that we need to do more of, that we're positive and nurturing with each other.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, congratulations again. And we're certainly looking forward to maybe, having Miss Jenny come and get you in person and bring you over for next year when you win.
Okay.
But have a very blessed and safe Christmas, and may God continue to guide you.
Okay. You too. God bless you too.
Amen. Oh, this has to touch your heart to see our young people, not just with such joy and fulfillment, but through their actions to encourage us. We have more to give. Right, Ms. Jenny?
Yes, we do. Like I said, my motivation every day is I've been with DES now 14 years, and my motivation every morning is that I know that whatever I do as head of business services is for the betterment of over 5,000 children in our government school system. And the government school system over the years have had so much more things to offer our children, and we have a great team at DES, and we work hard every day to make sure that we pull off these events, not only academically with our teachers, but also with all the arts and spelling bee and National Children Festival of the Arts, which will be up next year.
And something that I won't get into now because not just the time, but perhaps the temperament of some. But we have 5,000 children you referenced just within the public school system. We have other children who are homeschooled, who are at other schools, who are overseas, but they're all part of our community. Yeah. We can, as I do, look at things from a statistical analysis and do as a percentage of our population. But what are those children doing? How are we engaging them? How are we partnering? And to the private sector that comes on board in many ways, to the parents who volunteer. I would encourage Ms. Christian, continue to make time. It may not be for your daughter, but it's someone else's. Right? We are partners. So to you,
all in this together.
That's probably one of the few times when we can sit down, huh? Because the children of today will be the children of tomorrow, and eventually the parents. And what are they going to be? Well, Billy Joel in his songs, woe be unto us if we are the reasons for their unanswered prayer.
We also got to look at all the positives and don't make it be all the negatives.
Exactly.
You don't hear enough of the positives that go on within the school system, whether it's government or private. You hear a lot of the negative. And I think we as a community need to instill that, you know what, there's a lot of positive out there. Let's bring the positive forward. Yeah,
we don't ignore the negative, but we highlight the positive. Exactly. And if you want to hear something that's always bad, that's probably going to believe. Yeah. I keep telling people, if you want to watch one type of television programming, is that why your spirit is so bad? I just wonder, right? The problem isn't just the television. Problem is.
No, and I think, you know, one of the things that have come out clearly today, you know, with what Haley has said, what Suana has said, is the positive peer support that they've received from their friends and that they've also given their friends. And, you know, that's, to me, when you have children uplifting each other and also having the confidence in themselves, you know, that's truly a winning situation. Right there, and you know, I think they're all to be really commended, and and also, you know, to be thanked for taking the spelling bees, you know, seriously and putting their best effort forward, because that brings then even more value to these events that we offer them.
Certainly, the positive attitude, purpose of the children, but the presence of parents.
Absolutely, and it's a village, right? We take a village, and it is about that community responsibility. You know, we all have a part to play in, and when we all need to play it.
Well, Lions have been, you know, an indelible part of our community 4+ decades. Just with this one activity, just shows what we can do if we have, you know, that staying power.
Yep, and the same to RBC, you know, and I want to thank again the partnership with them, the support of them, because they truly do believe in our young people and bringing that community support. And they're to be commended for being such a long-standing supports of these events.
Well, I'm hoping that more of us will recognize that we can contribute, whether we're a corporate sponsor or an individual benefactor, whether it's that one parent with only 1 hour for the month, we can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Closing thoughts, Ms. Jenna, Ms. Kim?
No, just want to say congratulations to Tuana and Haley on a job well done. It makes me smile, and it makes to know that what I do every day, I can see the fruits of my labor. So job well done. Continue, and I hope to see you again in the future with some other competitions.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and same for me, you know, huge congratulations to these young ladies and to all the schools that took part, to all the students who took part. You know, it's not easy getting up there, you know, and not spelling correctly or being told, okay, incorrect, and you have to go sit down. And then also to the perseverance to keep going through each round and not giving up. And, you know, it's truly commendable for our young people and bringing all of our schools together and our education community together. And just a huge thank you to everyone and to our 2 sponsors again for their support.
You know, thank you for highlighting all of that and recognizing the importance of partnership. To Ms. Kristen, to you and many of the parents, every year, what's evident, the parental involvement, being physically engaged, being present is so important. It's invaluable, and you can't put a price on it, right? But too many of our parents fail to appreciate how important that is. We probably tell ourselves we don't have time, we don't have money, we don't have.
Make time.
But we have to, right?
Right.
One of my sisters reminds us, you cannot be a lazy parent. You got to be present, you got to be involved. So to you and parents like you, thank you. And, you know, to Ms. Haley and Ms. Suana, congratulations. Well earned, well deserved. It shows you the hard work, persistence, perseverance does indeed pay dividends, right? All right, I'm sure we'll see you back again. Have a wonderful, blessed rest of the week and the most joyous and safe and festive Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
How many of us think we can encourage? Can we do that? Just check. See that? What? Susan talks to me here. Things. You still there? Yes, ma'am. Miss Augustine?
Yes, I will be preparing for when the next spelling bee will come.
Aha. Thank you for staying on. I do apologize. I thought for some reason.
Yes, I would also like to give a huge thanks to you because of how God's amazing work can help me when I win spelling bee.
Amen. God is a merciful, gracious God, ever present. Thankfully, He doesn't chastise me all the time for all the missteps I make, so even sinners can be saved. Thank you so much, Miss Augustine, okay?
Yes, okay.
God bless. Wow. Our children, they are indeed not just a song, but our future. All right, when we come back, we'll talk today.
Santa says ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho! Don't miss your chance to win big this holiday season with the Rubis Pure Joy promotion. Win $30,000 to pay your bills.
Merry Christmas!
Each time you top up your tank with $25 of fuel or merchandise from Jose's 24-hour food mart, you earn another stamp. Collect 6 stamps and you're entered to win a lot of awesome prizes. You could be the lucky winner of $30,000 to pay your 2024 bills. Don't forget to share the Christmas spirit with gift certificates your loved ones can use at Reflections, Liquor for Less, Hemp and Tobacco, Food for Less, or Jose's Rubis. Now open 24 hours a day to serve you.
Merry Christmas!
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
'Twas the days before Christmas in Digicel stores near and far. Stockings were hung with the best tweenie deals by far. A 27-day bundle, it was quite an appeal. With 2 gigabytes any use data, it made Roblox so real. YouTube and Disney Plus, oh what a delight. Boys and girls were entertained from morning till night. Endless messaging, a connection so dear. Staying in touch with parents, oh what a cheer. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I go in flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
It's party season, which means it's pizza boat season. Aren't you tired of the same boring pizza? It's time to party. All aboard the pizza boat. Birthday parties, holiday functions, office luncheons, game nights. Whatever your occasion, bring the fun with Pizza Boat, a Cayman twist to pizza. Bringing fusion ingredients from all over the globe to give you locally inspired fresh pizzas. All day, every day. What's more, now you can enjoy a boat-shaped pizza with toppings of your choice. It's Pizza Boat in Queens Court on West Bay Road. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Fridays until 3 a.m. Pickup or delivery 949-0000 or get it online at www.pizzaboat.ky. Pizza Boat. Experience the ultimate pizza voyage.
Tomlinson Furniture wants you to make it home for the holidays. Shop our new stock of living and dining room sets, bedroom sets, decor, and more. Find the perfect gift in candles, diffusers, luxury sheets, pillows, and accessories. Dreaming of a good night's sleep? Don't miss our huge mattress selection at the Mattress Gallery. Browse online at tomlinsonfurniture.ky or shop in store for the perfect home furnishing piece. This holiday season, make it comfortable, make it home, make it Tomlinson Furniture. Located at the Tomlinson Building, corner of Walkers and Hospital Road.
Reflections annual countdown to Christmas sale is on now. Complete your Christmas shopping super early this year by getting Reflections gift certificates for everyone on your list. Save 60% on all Adidas apparel. Find store-wide savings up to 60% off on tees, caps, shoes, and clothing. Selected Nike, Puma, and US Polo is 50% off. US Polo handbags. Buy one, get one at 50% off. Save on ladies' fashion jeans, one pair of jeans for $25 or two for $45. Includes select Levi's 100% cotton tees by Johnny Cotton, 2 for $34.99. Spend $25 and be entered to win up to $500 in gift certificates. Open Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 9 to 9. Located on Shedden Road beside Mango Tree.
See yourself in reflections.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles until December 31st, 2023. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Happy holidays, Cayman. Let's make the choice to drive safe, drive sober, and ride free this New Year's Eve. Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council, Compass Media, the RCIPS, and Radio Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. It's going to be some open line. And despite it being the 5th day of December, and we're looking forward to not just Christmas, which, my mama said 2 turnarounds, it'll be Christmas Day. We got the promise of the new year. Let's think about not just the cheer, but, what are we going to be doing? On Tuesdays in this time slot, normally we always have a continued partnership with our friends over the Health Services Authority. And today we would have, but people's schedules and things transpire. So we'll have that discussion on dialysis rescheduled for another time. But it gives us an opportunity to talk about things. Some of the things can be things that bother us. We may actually even have a solution to those things. I've come to recognize that 2 words, worry and concern, may be used synonymous, but they're not the same. And we worry about the things that we can and shouldn't, and then we're probably concerned because there's possible solution. Well, let's take this caller. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
And to you, sir. A wonderful good afternoon. How are you today?
Fantabulous, mi amigo.
Fantabulous. All right. Hey, you know what? You sound so. What's on your mind, man? Let me hear from you.
You know, this is the season of good cheer,
Mhm.
and they also talk about I don't know if they can change it, but they got a few different words in reference to Christmas: hope, joy, peace, love, and all that sort of thing. And you know, to me, it's a very special thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a season also to forgive people
Yeah.
for the wickedness and and try to keep it out. And like, boy, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Just give them a good turkey dinner or chicken dinner or something like that. And
Yeah.
put, I don't know.
You know, but it's interesting, right? If I might, and you are right. This is, for many of us, that time of year when we may look at things a bit differently, generally speaking, and not dismiss or disregard or certainly disrespect that people may have it even more challenging for different reasons, you know, the loss, the financial pressures, and the like. But you are right. People will see this time of year and say, you know, there's some hope, there's some love, there's some joy, and even sometimes the worst of, you know, acquaintances try to be civil. Some would even say, you know, maybe amenable. But let me ask you though, you know, that forgiveness of which you speak. Good friend shared with me, you know, in the Bible study, he talked about, you know, as we look at the Lord's Prayer, you know, forgive us our trespasses if we forgive those who trespass against us, right? Do you think we are, in seeking forgiveness, we're also willing to offer it?
You know, but I try to look at it this way, though, to some extent. You know, forgiving someone gives you a lot of power, you know. It gives you power over them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it gives you power over them, but it certainly gives you, as you said, you know, a sense of freedom, right? That the only person that's being held captive is yourself, right?
Right. And but I don't know what to tell you about the way that, you know, it's like, and then it concerns Jesus as well. I mean, look at what was done to baby Jesus. They crucified Jesus, and they I mean, I got no choice than to believe it.
Yeah.
The story about Jesus. Some people say no, some say yes, and everything else.
Let me ask you, and thanks for calling and listening. Let me ask, I just generally speaking, right, recognize that many of us will look at this time of year and we can see the marketing and the commercialization. It's about money, how people do things. For some, it's a show and tell, and they get a, you know, dress up to the 99s and they get engaged in different activities, not just on New Year's Eve, but I'm talking about even, you know, Christmas Eve and the days before and following. Others will say, well, you know what, looking at it from a geographical perspective and, you know, historical perspective, there's no way that this thing could have transpired at this time of year in this way. With that, how do you tell people as we go into the break? Look beyond that and look at the reason.
Well, I'll tell you something that made me believe even more. I had an accident. The day before. Can't talk about it.
No, but don't, you know. But it for you is purposeful, right? It's something that makes you see it in a way, right?
The day before that, talking about Jesus and who believed in Jesus and who didn't believe in Jesus, and I got, I can't even say it.
Yeah, man.
I can't talk about that.
No, but don't, man. When nothing before its time, and I would ask you to please forgive me. We have the news just about to take. We will talk to you whenever we can again, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Have a wonderful day.
Yes.
And I wish, you know, the people or the person that have been trying to keep me down and don't want to see me get in the way. I wish them all the best and I hope they eat their belly full and relax and have nothing on their conscience.
There you go. And pray for enemies we are reminded. With that, though, good way to kind of meditate as we go into our news, and we invite you to join us after for more Open Line.
Honey, you and your team have had such a busy schedule. I've ordered Subway catering.
Oh, I love Subway. Did you order the flavor craver and the turkey wrap platters?
I also ordered Fresh Fit Platter for some of the team.
Hey! And Subway's fresh baked cookies?
Yes, even though you seem to get plenty of them.
No matter how big your crew is, keep them going with the great taste of Subway. From customized boxed lunches starting at just $6 to their famous platters. They'll love the taste and you'll love the price. Subway. Eat fresh.
'Twas the days before Christmas in Digicel stores near and far. Stockings were hung with the best tweenie deals by far. A 27-day bundle, it was quite an appeal. With 2 gigabytes any use data, it made Roblox so real. YouTube and Disney Plus, oh what a delight. Boys and girls were entertained from morning till night. Endless messaging, a connection so dear. Staying in touch with parents, oh what a cheer. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from December 11th through the 16th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancement, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.porterkman@gmail.com or call 949-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
COP28 is now underway through December 12th in the United Arab Emirates. Government representatives from Cayman are there, as well as a group of young Caymanians. Their goal is to discuss how climate change crisis impacts small island states. In international headlines, U.S. employers posted 8.7 million job openings in October, the fewest since March 2021. It's a sign that hiring is cooling in the face of higher interest rates, yet remains at a still healthy pace. The Labor Department's report said today that openings were down significantly from 9.4 million in September. Layoffs were up modestly in October, and the number of Americans who quit their jobs, which generally reflects confidence in their ability to find better pay or better working conditions elsewhere, was down slightly. The drop in job openings last month was particularly steep in healthcare and social assistance. Despite the sharp drop in October, U.S. job openings remain at historically high levels. Miami and Shanghai will host their first Formula One sprint races next season, as 2 of the 6 sprints on the calendar take place in the U.S. The calendar published today includes the first sprint race of the season in April at the Chinese Grand Prix, which is back on the F1 schedule for the first time since 2019 after being canceled for 4 years running amid the coronavirus pandemic. There is also a sprint race scheduled for May at the Miami Grand Prix, which will be in its 3rd year in F1. Those are your headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for sharing us in this open line as we go straight to the phones for those who want to call 949-8037. That's 949-8037, and then 949-6990 as well. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, my friend. How are you today, man? How's it going?
Okay, thankful. You?
Listen, thanks for asking, but no, very, very thankful indeed. You know, it's good to be able to be in a place with other people with a similar purpose who remind you, you know, to always look as positively and as hopefully expectant as possible.
Okay. Good inspiration talk, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Iron sharp as iron, we say. We just need to remember it.
Okay. Well, concerning the situation down in Gaza.
Yeah.
Yeah, concerning especially all the children, over 5,000 children now have died, and a lot of them are still under buildings that have collapsed from the shelling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when Jesus was born, the ruler in that country where he was born, which is practically in the same area where that war is going on, the king ordered that every male child, newborn child born, he wants them killed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And when Jesus rose from the tomb on the third day, the captain of the soldiers made an order that they should pay people, gave them money to pay people to say that Jesus' disciples took him out of the tomb, which was a lie. And up until today, a lot of those Jews still believe that. So, when it comes to them killing all these children, and when it comes to them telling the truth, the Israeli soldiers back then, I would say, were the biggest liars in the world to spread that kind of rumor. And what you're seeing now happening down there with the young children, that's the kind of heart they had from a long time ago. And when you see the situation about believing everything that they say, you cannot believe everything that they say because they are known to be liars. Thank you very much, Dwayne.
Well, thank you, for sharing your perspective, and like many, paying attention as best we can to what happens around the world. As I listen to the caller, questions come to mind regarding to what extent the international media is as professional and objective and impartial, to what extent they have access to be able to accurately report, and to what extent, whether it's a coordinated, concerted effort to put out information that, sings from the same hymnal. Some would use that as akin to propaganda. Now, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's done out of fear. Maybe it's done out of control, one way or the other. Now, to the caller's point, if you look at some news sources, just through the destruction of hospitals and the like, if their numbers are correct relative to expectant mothers, the numbers that are giving birth on a daily basis, the impact on the mother and the child, the probability of survival, the access, to some level of health care, the ordeal, if you'd allow the word, that they have to endure during labor and delivery. How does that translate into the prospect that both mother and child will survive? If so, what is that? And if so, how does it impact their psyche? We do have a call on the WhatsApp, Miss Susan. Let's see if we can harness that one as well. Welcome. Thanks for calling. Okay, good afternoon. Okay. Well, this WhatsApp message, let me see if I can read. Oh, okay, nope. I was trying to listen to a caller, read and write, and, share. It is whichever, we are. But the phone lines are available. 949-837, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. Had an interesting discussion with someone earlier. And sometimes the discussions flow probably in a certain direction without you even realizing it. Other times it may be taken a direction because of the content. It may be impacted by discussions you've had previously or even anticipating. And one of the passing comments was this notion that we have this saying, you can take a horse to water and you can't make it drink. And it's something that I've always heard and wondered. Then someone added, well, you can salt the hay. And you go, okay. So you've done all of these things to ensure that people are not as negatively affected by, some consequence or the other. And the question is, well, do we let people find their own way? We know with children that sometimes as safely as you can, you allow them to make choices, decisions, mistakes even. You try to do it as best so that it isn't, a long-term, irreversible, negative consequence. But what about adults? How many of us have heard our mothers in particular say, you can't hear, you can feel? Well, there's a thought. Well, we do have the previous caller, I'm told, will be joining us. Hey, welcome back, man.
This is Sterling.
Yes, sir.
It's a spiritual thing.
It is indeed, man. You share if you wish.
All these numbers, bro. I am not normal anymore, bro. I'm not normal anymore.
Why? Okay. We certainly don't want to dismiss nor disrespect you. So talk as you wish, but if what you're saying, can we do two things? Can we talk to you privately? Actually, three things. Or can we have someone talk to you directly? And now, since we've got this little issue of being public, what is your preference? Talk to us now or have someone call you?
I want to talk about the human part of I prefer to talk about the human part of it.
Okay.
Because I don't really want to talk about it on the radio, be specific.
No, that's sensible, and we'll try our best to listen, okay?
My life has changed.
Mm-hmm.
My life has changed, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen a lot of great and powerful things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I believe in the power of healing, bro.
True. Mm-hmm. Healing and deliverance, right? Mm-hmm.
Couple seconds away and I would have been fried.
Yeah.
Electrical wires shocked me in the head.
Yeah, man. You realize that we all have a purpose, right? There's a purpose for our lives. There's a reason that we are where we are, right? And so, with where you are now, what can we do to help you use your, what can we do? What would you like us to do?
Oh, I just wanted to tell you, just keen to this. A lot of things are possible, man.
Yeah, man.
Spiritual power,
Right. But then you're saying, too, that we don't give up, right? We try to find positivity, whether it's in prayer, otherwise, or in people around us, right? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
I tell you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know what to tell you, but I've seen some great power. I mean, even what some people call all I look right down on me about 3 times.
Okay. So let's do this. Stay on the line. We're going to take a commercial break. I'll have a quick chat with you off air. So you stay on the line. All right. And we'll take the break and then we'll continue. Stay tuned.
The Board of Trustees of the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan invites our members to attend the annual general meeting on Wednesday, December 6th at 6:30 p.m. The meeting will be held at the Chamber of Commerce Boardroom in Governor Square. Come out to meet our trustees, receive performance updates, and take part in our question and answer segment. Light refreshments will be served. Please visit our website, chamberpension.ky, or email admin@pensions.ky for further details.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Jingle all the way into the season of incredible savings and wish granting with Digicel. This Christmas, get 25% off your Prime Bundle plan or postpaid bill for the next 6 months. With plans featuring social data, entertainment data, and more, Digicel keeps you connected and entertained all season long. But here's the real magic. Digicel could make your Christmas wish come true. Win a prize of your choice, from getting your rent paid to a new laptop or even a brand new car. Visit a Digicel store today, where dreams come true this holiday season.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights. On top of Jamaica, Cuba, and Honduras, you got non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, and even Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, and child, they now have Barbados. Going to be a little cafe con leche and Hollywood Squares for this old gal.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures in Panama, LA, and many more places in between. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
South Coast Bar and Grill up in Breakers, man, that is the place. For traditional Cayman cuisine, oh, you will love the taste. At South Coast Bar and Grill, we got conch and lobster and turtle stew. And every Sunday, come out with your family for the barbecue.
South Coast Bar and Grill by the seaside, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, lunch and dinner. Call us at 947-2517.
For Cayman and cuisine, the talk today is South Coast Bar and Grill.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for sharing with us. 949-8037, 949-6990. And of course, you can WhatsApp. You can call on the WhatsApp, get on air if you call it. Otherwise, we cannot put you on air using that number. You can send a WhatsApp message or a voice note or whatever it is else that is used for. That number to call on the WhatsApp is 925-3261. So, is there a call, Miss Susan? She says there's a call. Is there chocolate, Miss Susan? She's like, yeah, there's chocolate. Okay, well, I got to choose between the call and chocolate. Let's take the call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, welcome, Mr. Sterling.
How are you today, man?
Oh, boy, I'm doing good. I said I was going to call back tomorrow, but, you know, I made it to work pretty early, no traffic, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got an extra little 10 minutes to spare or so. So watching a documentary yesterday, and I was actually listening to it because I was working at the same time, and I had came across Neil deGrasse Tyson. Now I a big fan of him, and I listen to his documentaries and his podcasts all the time.
Okay.
And he was invited to Mexico to view this so-called alien species they discovered, and he refused the invitation at first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he said that, how can you tell me this is an alien? It's a bunch of people that are just like, okay, yeah, you know, political wise. So he said that before you invite him, me, because he's not a biologist, get a few biologists, like not one or two or three. He said get at least 5 and get each and every one of their opinions of it, make them be together and think about it. And will be disagreements and agreements on observations, right? Because they'll be taking samples and whatnot. And they did their study, and then he came to do his part. He came and view it. What I observed of that is, how is it that we can have a government that continuously decides on one side and never tries the other at all? At one point they don't come to an agreement and there's a fight and someone has to win, right? But it's always the other side. So that was just a little thought that I had through watching that documentary. But I see some information.
Yeah. If it's okay to answer, I'll ask anyway. You say you're a big fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Any particular reason?
Well, I used to love looking up in the sky, you know, viewing the stars, trying my best to see if I can identify one star every night. And because there's a lot of them. And I was just like, you know, I wonder if I do point my or a telescope at that one star and see if there's any planets in there. You know, like I've always came to that thought, so I'd be watching these videos and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, that's the only reason why I mean he's like the smartest.
And this isn't to speak to his intellect or academic credentials. Some people drop the school they went to as if, you know, people drop names, but he's an astrophysicist, and I wonder sometimes when we look at theoretical physics and the suppositions that they make, you know, the inability sometimes to physically, tangibly verify certain things makes you wonder. And saying that, I'm thinking, you know, in school when I was there, Pluto was a planet and now it's not. Today, John is a boy, but tomorrow he may be, you know, a worm. I just wonder to what extent in our life we ascribe something to something only when it's politically expedient, but we ignore the physical, factual evidence, you know, before us.
Yeah, you know, I always had this thing that says seeing is believing.
Yeah.
And then there's also, if you heard something and you don't believe it, at least give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. You know, and it's good to question. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I think it's absolutely imperative to question things from the status quo to the published fact of something.
Right.
One of the reasons I loved physics in school was that you could test things. You know, we had some opportunities to, you know, I guess today's world will blow up things. You know, in your physics lab, we didn't have it as they probably do now, but you could, you know, see what happened if you combine this particular thing with that thing, just like to some extent, but in a limited scale in chemistry. Now I don't know that we're doing it properly, especially when it comes to ideas and information that are coming from supposed reputable sources. The minute you question it, and you being of the same academic credentialed sort of space as the person publishing it, but worse, when you know more, presumably well published in research and peer reviewed, than the little mutt saying something with little beady eyes, we're not doing enough of that to advance learning and knowledge and sharing and the like. Sound like the loudest voice gets the most play.
Well, I tell you how I look at it
Mm.
is that if I know something, I'll say something. I don't like to really keep my information to myself, especially I know it can improve the way our lives, like the way we live.
Yeah, man.
Because apparently we are only on this planet alone to die alone, right? But then there's about billions of people around us that we have to really kind of fend ourselves off and hope that we think the same.
Yeah, it's interesting too. And I've heard this a long time ago, and then more recently I heard that the way we heard it was wrong. The actual, presumably, accurate saying is a little learning is a dangerous thing, not a little knowledge is how we heard it. And when you have some learning, you have some insight, you've come to find something out, you share it with somebody else, and then they can know it or they can critique it, and together you can be inspired, right?
Right.
But we're not doing that. If John and Mary aren't singing from the same hymnal, they can't sit down and, have a bowl of fish tea.
Right. That's sad though.
Yeah, boy.
I remember it used to be like that though.
Well, that's what and how I think it should be, but it isn't. Right?
Yeah, someone's changing the game.
Yeah, boy, from the puppet masters pulling the strings to the politicians, the pontificating something from a popular platform who have no purpose other than the profits that accrue to them so that they themselves can be, positioned. I don't know, boy. We have to question.
Well, I say most of the most important decisions are being made while we are entertained. But I am going to go to lunch now.
Yeah, man.
5 minutes.
You do it, man. Thank you. Enjoy it. We talk to you when you have time, all right?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You too, my friend. You too. I grew up in a society with stalwarts around me, male and female alike, who were exemplary in their character and integrity, their honesty and their humility, who exhibited, a sense of community, who through their actions were, in today's words, designed, deliberately so, to encourage and to empower and to nurture. Today, as many of you have shared, I have to wonder, not only in the words of that famous Calypsonian, where are your heroes, West Indies, but let's rephrase it and reframe it. Have we all become cowards? Are we now afraid of our own shadows? They say, dap in the hole frightened. It seems like there are a lot of dappies and we all running coward. And it isn't because we pick up arms. It is because we need to embrace each other in open arms, lock arms, and move forward together. And when we hear, very deliberately, let's flip the script, control the narrative. Why are we reinterpreting that and not seeing through the guise of what it is? Manipulation, disinformation, and inaccurate, deliberate sentiments shared in such a large scale that we no longer think nor courageous enough to question. With that, though, we should not take for granted the space that we occupy in the place in which we live. And prayerfully, I hope each and everyone in this country in particular, and if so, by extension, given the amount of people who live here from almost every walk of life and every part of the world, we can be so influential in the lives of our families that we can make a meaningful, positive difference. So let's take ownership. Let's invest in each other. Let's unite. Let's use irrespective of whatever religious connotations we have, whether that is agnostic or atheist, whether that's subscribing to one of the world religions or otherwise. We all should exhibit a sense of humanity, be purposeful in our endeavors, seek humility, and perhaps, as the scriptures that I read remind us, humility before honor. And as we castigate others, maybe first we'll examine ourselves. Well, I don't know what tomorrow will bring, and I don't know that it's not promised to any of us. But if we have now, can we make it meaningful? And if tomorrow, presents itself to be a part of it, well, let's make that, an opportunity to do even better if we can. Enjoy the rest of this day. I know that there are many who probably could benefit from a good dose of counsel, some from other things. But what do we need to get us where we should go? Not always what we want, but what we need. Until tomorrow, we invite you to join Mr. Art come tomorrow morning and be a part of his always engaging, informative discussions on the record there. For the record with Mr. Art, your best morning production. And then come back for Talk Today right after the midday news. Our friends from CUC are supposed to join us. We had a chance to chat with them and hear about some of their endeavors as they move forward. Well, that's the plan for tomorrow. I think, man sort of makes his plans and God orders his steps. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of this day. God's willing. See you all tomorrow.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.